All right, so welcome to geography. You are in geography right now. We have started into North America now. So our first unit was just an overview of geography, what it's all about, that kind of stuff. At the end of each lesson, remember there is a quiz that you need to do. I will be going over that. Actually, I'll go over that at the very end. How's that? Hopefully we'll get some more people popping in. And then I can go over the project that's coming up, our first project / assignment, and then go over exactly what's going on, that kind of stuff. So here's some objectives that you'll be going over as you're running through the class. I'm not going to go through all of them. There's just a ton there. If you want to watch the recording later and jump through it, you can do that. But I'm not going to bore you to death with my things. Hey, how's it going? Welcome, guys. Cool, we're just starting. Just for those who are jumping in, we're just starting Lesson 5. We're in North America now, so we're just rolling there. Okay, so we're going to first talk about the physical characteristics of North America. Okay, so hopefully you know that we live in North America. I hope you've got that so far. Well, if you're living in Utah, right, you should know that North America is in Utah is in North America. So some of the things you'll see up there, because we are higher up in latitude, you have a lot of glaciers that were formed, and because of the Ice Age, that kind of stuff, we had a big lake in Utah. You may have remembered this from Utah studies if you ever took that. What was the lake that was here in Utah that covered most of Utah? Can you remember what it is? Lake Bonneville, yeah. Okay. And so that actually drained out into the Pacific Ocean through the Snake River there. Was it Lake Bonneville? Yeah. Cool. So anyway, because of that, we have big, huge mountains and everything that's kind of created some of these things. Not Bountiful, Bonneville. Yep, you're right. Lake Bonneville. Yep, Bountiful, that's a place where some people live, but good on you. So we have a lot of weathering patterns. You probably have seen things like this in the southern Utah area. Does anybody live in southern Utah out there? The good old red rock country. They have beautiful areas, and that was created a lot because of the water runoff from the earth heating up, the glaciers that were there before that kind of pushed the earth down, and he made these really cool things that were at one point in time that sand, and that was compressed down there. So, but that's a really cool area in southern Utah. You don't have that in a lot of areas in the world. Afghanistan has some of these red rocks too. I'm not gonna go over there anytime soon. But the whole water cycle that you kind of look at that forms the climate, you know, where you have water that evaporates into the air, it comes down, pours on there, that causes different formations that you will know, and you'll learn more about that as you go through the different objectives in the class there. So we have some very distinctive mountain features. The biggest one we know is the Rocky Mountains. And this one's actually part of what's called the Sierra Nevada Mountains. So it separates Nevada and California there. But they're newer mountains, so they're very sharp and steep, as you can see there. And we have a lot up and down the Wasatch Front here in Utah. Okay, we're going to move on now a little bit to what we call human culture, okay, in North America. So this is something I want you guys to chat about in a second, okay? So people have described the United States of America, okay, as one of two things, okay? Some people think it's a salad bowl. This is hypothetically speaking, okay? So some think of it as a salad bowl, and other thinks of it as a melting pot, okay? A salad bowl concept would be that people are coming in, we have a whole bunch of immigration immigrants coming in. Okay, not just now, but ever since the founding of the United States, right? You had the indigenous people that lived here before, but you had people from Europe, you had people from all these, you have all kinds of races have been kind of coming in, okay? So they say everybody kind of brings their own flavor kind of to a salad. So I don't know if you guys are salad fans, but I kind of am. I got, you got some tomatoes there. You have corn. You have, this looks like a Southwest salad. I like those ones. Those are good. But you have different flavors. And others think of the United States like a melting pot. Somebody said you guys went to the melting pot for dinner. That's a really cool place. But a melting pot is where everything kind of gets put in a pot and it melts all together. And they think they conform to these main ideas of America. Okay, so saying that, if you think the United States is more like a salad or a melting pot, what would you kind of think? What's your thing? You think the United States is more like a melting pot where everybody has the same American ideas of entrepreneurship, living the American dream, quote unquote? Or do you think they kind of bring in their own mixture or flavor from the country that they immigrated from? So why don't you throw that up there? Do you think it's a melting pot or salad? I think I see a couple people writing there. There's no right or wrong answer. Melting pot or salad? Okay, so some say it varies from person to person. Lots of people think they come here to live the American dream, but then other people traditionally bring their cultures with them. Yeah, I'd agree, right? So we'll talk about, I think we've already talked about this a little bit, about diffusion of different things, right? So, and I'm glad people bring in things like Mexican food. I like Mexican food, right? Would we have that if everybody conformed to the same thing? Also said, so it's more of a melting salad. I guess you could combine them two together. So I think there's two kind of ways to think about it a little bit, right? So people do bring in their own little flavors, but a lot of people do conform to the American ideas and beliefs, right? Of work hard. The harder you work, the more money you get, the more successful you can be. You can make, doesn't matter where you're born at, if you're rich, poor, or the other, you can make it in the United States, right? So those are kind of the core beliefs as we think about that. So something to kind of think about. As we're looking at, somebody else put something. I think keeping your ways is great, but America is America. Yeah, some people think that as well, right? So some people believe that if you live in the United States, you should have to speak English. That should be a prerequisite for living in the United States. Okay, and some people hold really strong to that. Other people believe that, we should, be able to maybe learn a couple different languages. Some countries have multiple languages as their national language, so that's something else to think about. So, but immigration's happened for a long, long time. The biggest amount of immigration actually happened in the early 1900s, where a lot of people came over. Almost 9 million people immigrated from mostly Europe, from like the potato famine and stuff like that was going on over there. So there's a lot what's called push and pull factors, okay? So other countries, and we're going to be talking about this a lot when we get down to Central America and South America, is there's a lot of push factors out of that country. If you don't have a job, are you going to stay in a certain location? If you don't have food, if you're not safe. So all of those things kind of come into play. Those are push factors. And then if you're looking at a place to go, you want a place that's safe, has food, has a way to make a living. Well, the biggest kind of star on the hill right now is a little bit the United States, right? North America has a really good economy. We, even though we do have poverty, there's not, people are still being able to eat, all that kind of stuff, okay? So there's a lot of pull factors coming to North America, particularly Canada and the United States. We talked a little bit about this already when we talked about immigration, that diffusion, right? So I talked about a little bit about one thing that I like about diffusion is we have Mexican food here, right? Is everybody fans of Mexican food, maybe? Or what about Italian food, right? Spaghetti, all those things. Nope. Oh, said nope. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there are all these things. If we didn't have this movement of people, products, and ideas, things would just be the same, right? And because one thing that's really helped us out is the internet, right? The internet has brought so many different ideas from all around the world, and people can kind of have these different things. Products are moved super easy now, right? Things that you couldn't get anywhere else, now you can get on your doorstep. Says some, no, I don't want to lose European chocolate. I don't think you will. I love a lot of European chocolate. Have you tried Galaxy before? That's a good one. That's a good brand, I think. That's more of like English, that kind of stuff. But anyways, these things are kind of there. The first remnants of kind of the changing of things was the triangle trade back in the 16 and 1700s, where there would ships where they would get slaves from Africa. They would bring them to the United States. They would get other like sugarcane, tobacco, that kind of stuff, go down to the islands, pick up stuff over there, and just do that triangle trade route. And it moved a lot of people, different ideas, different cultures, kind of all infused into one. And that's how we have a lot of what we have today, kind of this more salad or melting pot, however you think of the United States as. Okay, let's do a true or false question here real quick. I'm going to go down to my polling, switch it. Okay, so it's going to be yes or no. So yes is true, no is false, okay? Perhaps 90% of the indigenous people died in the years of the arrival of the Europeans and Africans to the Americas, mainly due to sickness. Was that true or false? Yes or no? Okay, so I guess, yeah, the green check is yes, red X is no. Okay, very good. I got quite a few responses now. Okay, 90% is quite a bit. I'm trying to trick you. Okay, that is true. The answer is true. There's a lot. One thing that was diffused over that wasn't a good thing, right? As we talked about in this last slide, diffusion, right? Was sickness was brought. And it really wiped out a lot of these Native American places because they didn't have their immune system built up, and they didn't have antibiotics. They didn't have the technology and healthcare that we had today. So that's something that happened. Okay, something that kind of unites North America is the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. This has been put in the news recently that President Trump says that he renegotiated to make it better for the United States. But basically what it is, it's an agreement between the United States, Mexico, and Canada to be able to work together to bring products across their lines and make it easier for each other. And it kind of unites us a little bit more. So possibly like cars are made in Mexico and then they're brought into the United States, right? You know, some technology places like BlackBerry, that was pretty big at some point in time. Other companies in there, they bring their stuff, and we in turn have something from the United States and bring it to Mexico and Canada. Okay, and it makes it just easier for us to trade back and forth with them. So that is that. Okay, this one I'm going to have you write on the board which one you think it is. Okay, so you can just circle the correct answer. Although NAFTA began with President Bush, it was a priority of President Clinton, and its passage is considered one of his first successes. And we probably go on and say it was undermined by Trump. So, what do you guys think? This is the first Bush. Is it true or false? So use your tool. Yep, use your tools to circle the correct answer. Which one you think is the correct answer? You should have whiteboard capability now, okay? All right, I see a couple on there. A couple you're marking true. All right, now you're starting to get things on there. Okay. Very good. You guys are right and correct on that one. It is true. It was the first President Bush, the one that just passed away not too long ago. I don't know if you saw that on the news. H.W. Bush. The other President, George W. Bush, is still alive, though. It was his father that started it, and then President Clinton finished it. Yep, and it says right here, it is true. Okay, another thing that we're thinking of, as it kind of goes to the push and pull factors, right? You probably wouldn't want to live in Thailand or Ethiopia. I'm just saying that right now. If you live in the United States, your annual income is somewhere around $46,000, okay? If you lived in Thailand, it'd be $3,730. If you lived in Ethiopia, you'd probably only make about $350 a year, right? So this is years right here. And you can tell right here as well, as we look at where they are ranking in the world. So the United States is basically like the wealthiest place. Yeah, somebody put yikes. Yeah, that's kind of a little crazy as we're looking at this chart. They rank as the fourth wealthiest. So if you live in that country, there's a couple countries above us, but not a lot. Ethiopia is 92nd, or sorry, Thailand's 92nd, and Ethiopia is 153rd. Your life expectancy in the United States is around 80 years old. In Thailand, it's 70, so that's not too bad. 10 years less. And then 56. You only live to be about 56 years old in Ethiopia. School years, you go about 12.4 in the United States. It's only 6.5 years in Thailand, 8 years in Ethiopia. And then here's every 1,000 babies that are born, 8 die in childbirth in the United States. 14 die in childbirth, 109. So over 10% of the kids in Ethiopia that are born will die during childbirth. Okay? And so why is this, do you think? Any idea of why? It is kind of sad, isn't it? Why do you think it's like that? Why do you think so many people die in childbirth in Ethiopia than in the United States? Got a couple of you right in there. Good. Okay, so somebody said maybe like poverty, malnutrition, not a good technology or hygiene. Very good. All of those play factors. Okay. Some say they don't have the stuff that we have in the United States. Correct, right? That health care, the access to health care, not very good thing. It's not a healthy place. And I wouldn't say it's not a healthy place. They just don't have the resources, right, to do it. They're not going to hospitals, in these places to have babies and have professional health care people, okay, help them out. So you should just be lucky to live in the United States where we can get this help. Okay, right now I'm going to go over what your assignment is. Okay, so you have just 2 assignments in this whole block. Okay, you have a quiz after each thing, but you have 2 main assignments, and they're fairly good size. Okay, this first one I think is kind of a little bit a harder one. You're going to create a presentation on a country. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to create a slideshow. Okay. Oh, it's not that bad, I promise. It's not that bad at all. Okay? And you are going to, oh good, somebody's done it before. So what you're going to do is you're going to, so create like a slideshow. You can either use PowerPoint, Prezi, Google Slides. I have this video here that will show it. I will send out that link in a second that kind of goes how to make a PowerPoint, how to do those things, okay? You're going to do some research. You can use the online library. I'm going to show you how to get on that in just a second. Or Google Scholar is what I'd like to use. If you really cannot find what you're looking for, I will let you Google it, but I want you to try to use these 2 first, okay? As I said, you do that, you kind of make a thing, and then you're going to present through, it's called screencast-o-matic.com. These instructions are all like under their things. So somebody had a good question. Can it be on any country? Yep, I'm going to let you choose any country in the entire world. Okay? So it could be Ethiopia. It could be Thailand. It could be Australia. It could be New Zealand. It could be Canada. It could be, you know, Luxembourg. Okay? So there's so many different countries to choose of, so whatever interests you. Okay? This is how you can watch this YouTube video of how you record the video, use that recorder, and then you're going to download it to an MP4 and you're going to turn it into me. I'm not going to show it to your classmates. I'll be the only one that watches it. So yeah, good question. When does it due? Let me screen share real quick so I can share with you this stuff. Okay, will you guys give me a green check if you can see my screen real quick? Very good. Okay, so you've probably seen this before. I'm kind of doing out. So tomorrow or today, you want to try to get done with lesson 4, which the recording, you flip Friday class on the announcement board was there. Quiz 5, so what we went over today is due Friday. The presentation is going to be due a week from now, okay? Of course, you'll have a little bit more time if you need it, but you don't want to kind of put this off. Let's just kind of get it knocked out of the way, okay? So a couple things I want to share with you. The online library, okay? So this online library, you log in. So what if you finish it today? That's cool. Yep, you can finish it today. The login is online, passwords learning. Okay, you log into it, and you have all of these research things that you can do. So one thing that's pretty easy, if you go to Culturegrams, let's go World Edition. Does somebody want to throw out a country for me? What country are you thinking of doing it on? Go in the chat. Peru. Okay, so Peru's in South America. Okay, we are going to find Peru, which is right here. Okay, and this will give you a whole bunch on Peru. Okay, so land and climate. So you just want to put on there just a couple things, not a lot. What is it like there? Okay, you might want to do about some history, how many people live there, what language they speak, what religion do they practice. It's all right here. So that's an easy one, okay? So here's another one. Google Scholar, okay? Let's put in here like, let's see here, Peru, right? Okay, you got a whole bunch of different things on Peru. Oh, ancient archaeological Peru, okay? So some things that are going on there. Okay, so it's pretty easy just to do it. So I'm going to, as I said, I have another walkthrough video, the YouTube video. I'm going to share that with you right now. I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to put it in the chat, and I'll push it out to you as well. There you go. It's really not that hard to do. I'm only looking for a 1 to 3 minute presentation. Just go through your things. There's X amount of people there. They speak X language, right? So making it shouldn't be really that difficult, okay? And you just turn it in. It's worth 100 points, so it's worth quite a bit. So you'll want to make sure you do it. It'll really affect your grade if you do not. Okay? Let me push that out to you real quick. All right. Okay. Oh, I think can you guys... Wait, let's see here. Okay, I thought I froze up real quick. Okay, so that's the country presentation. I'll be posting that to the announcement board as well and the walkthrough. Last thing's the exit ticket for today, guys. So what I want you to do is I want you to email me what your favorite American food is, okay? So tacos are not American, okay? So think about what an American food is and email it to me, okay? Can I text you? I'd rather just email me it. Sometimes I'm not too vigilant on my text, so if you email it to me, then I can always go back and look for it. So if you somebody said, why can't you do tacos? Because it wasn't originally created in America, right? Tacos, they came from somewhere else. So think about some American foods, okay? Your favorite American food. All right, I'll get to private comments, stuff like that. And I'm going to stop the recording, and you guys are good to go after you do that. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to open up the slide so you can move around if you'd like, and then I'll try to get some of your private comments, okay? Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.